Good morning or good afternoon, whatever time you guys are listening to this. Welcome back to another edition of the Layman's AI podcast. I am Adam,
And my name is Brian.
and we want to welcome you guys to episode 44 of the Layman's AI podcast. And I want to start by following up with last week's episode because there's been two personal developments with regards to last week's episode. If you remember, last week's episode was AI tools you may not know about, and we played around with some of them. And we did it live. So as always, when you do things live, there's a couple snafus here or there. And I want to talk about Dream Core. If you guys remember, we made a quick video game that was a carrot that shot bananas at gumdrops from Saturn. And during the game, I couldn't move the spaceship. So it just kept firing. And I wanted to follow up with everybody to let you know all I had to do to fix that was put in one line of additional prompt. It literally just right there. And I said, I can't move the spaceship. Could you allow me to move it with the arrow keys? And I
Huh.
mean, I must have waited 40 seconds and boom, it
Boom.
worked perfectly.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, keep prompting.
Yeah. Oh,
Keep up your prompting.
speaking
Hmm.
of prompting, the other thing, I've been using Flompt daily since that episode to
Oh
help
boy.
me design my prompts. So, yeah, so once again, I want to point out this is a non-paid episode, but as always, if you want to pay us, we'll take the money.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I've been using Flompt and I haven't, it's been free. It's been very good for helping me execute well-made prompts that I already have, and it's been helping me make additional considerations when prompting. So I got to admit, I'm pretty happy with that tool.
No, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've been kind of messing around with it a little bit. Haven't done anything too extravagant, but it's going to become a thing. Flompting is going to
mhm.
become a thing. And you know what?
Flumping.
Maybe we'll do a full episode on flompting versus prompting.
I
I like the idea.
I like that because if we could somehow tie it in with how flumping will help you provide more context,
Hmm.
because contexting is becoming a very big part of prompting as well.
Yeah,
I feel like there might be an episode there, but I definitely feel like that's something we should be talking about with our audience. And
definitely.
speaking of our audience, we should probably move into today's topic.
Hmm.
And Brian, how often are you going through social media, whether it's TikTok, YouTube Shorts? Whatever it is you're going through, and you come across a video and you're saying to yourself, this is AI slop.
Daily. I almost
Yes.
can't even
Yep.
go on social media anymore half the time because
Yeah.
it has just invaded social media to the point where it is nearly unusable or it's just not fun anymore.
Hmm.
The fake news stories, the
Yeah.
photos that are just weird, the videos where somebody says, "Hey, take so and so and have them do this." 30 seconds, upload, boom, and there's your AI garbage.
Yeah.
And it really kind of angers me because I think you and I are both obviously we're advocates for AI because we have this
Right.
podcast here and everything.
Yep.
And this AI slop is really starting to get annoying. And that brings us into tonight's episode, AI slop versus legit AI creativity.
Yep.
Because there is a difference. There is a major, major difference.
Yep. There is a difference. And, to get into this, what is slop? How do we define slop? I guess is the first
Hmm.
question when we're talking about the differences. And I think one of the things we have to mention is the slop is a fully fake video.
Hmm.
Uh, AI edited real videos count. The fake news clips.
Hmm.
That's driving me nuts because I can't tell you how many times I've gone on and I've seen breaking news, and it looks like it's either CNN or Fox or MSNBC, and you're
Hmm.
watching this going, "What's this breaking news? Oh, Iran did something," and I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute, that seems like pretty crazy that Iran would like target Saudi Arabia and others," and then you're looking
Hmm.
into it and it's not giving you any details, and you're going, "This is fake." This is fake,
Hmm.
but it already sucked you in the algorithm for at least 12 seconds.
And you
Uh,
clicked on the article and click more clicks equals
yep.
more dollars. And that's
Yes.
exactly what AI slop is trying to do. They're trying to get the clicks, they're trying to get the
Yeah.
likes, they're trying to get the comments and everything. And this is just kind of it almost blurs a line. Like you used to be on social media and there's a lot of fake stuff out there, a lot of fake memes and everything
Yeah.
like that, but this is taking those fake memes to a whole new level. So what is AI video slop? Let's just kind of like
Yeah.
detail this a little bit more. I know one thing, K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm sure you've heard of it.
I
Um,
have heard of it. I think my
mhm.
boys are just outside of the age of which they're watching that or not watching that. I have heard this though. I think
Oh
it's
yeah, my girls are firmly into the whole phenomenon and everything, and it's
okay.
not too bad. But
All
one
right.
thing I noticed when you go on Reels, people have taken the characters that are on the movie and everything, and they are just throwing videos out over and over and over again. Hey, have them do this, have them do this dance, have them run to the store, have them play baseball, have
Mm-hmm.
them, you know,
Right.
drinking, have them fighting each other, and you know, kind of taking stuff like that and just like throwing it up on your like little social media channel and basically, how should I say, like just getting those subscribers because, we all know younger kids and everything, they're more susceptible to hit that subscribe button. And that's
Yeah.
just kind of what brings them into the algorithm. And it's just, and since it packs on top of the algorithm and it becomes more popular, then it starts to sneak into your algorithm as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you, no matter how much you try to fight it, no matter how much you try to manipulate it, the most popular ones are eventually going to creep into yours, and it gets annoying.
Yes. It
It gets
certainly
very
does.
annoying.
And I'm thinking about where this all started. When we I remember the Sasquatch videos when those were first. Those were
Hmm.
probably the first AI, but I wouldn't have called them slop. And the reason
Hmm.
why is they were creative. You knew they were AI, and
Hmm.
it was meant to be fun. But then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, those got kind of tiring and old because everybody was trying to one up somebody with the next one. And it was constantly in
Hmm.
your algorithm, and it went from fun to oversaturated. And I feel bad because I think the people that originally started that were really onto something funny.
Hmm.
Um, but you know what? It is what it is, and that's why we're talking about it tonight because of what it's turned into and not what it was.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, like on the next point, what is making this problem grow? It's just
Oh,
the
yeah.
accessibility of the tools, essentially, how accessible they are. You pay 20 bucks a month
Yep.
and you can generate AI tools all day, and you could
Hmm.
pay another 10 bucks a month for music and make music out
Yeah.
of them and everything. And suddenly you have like a constant churning of, music videos that are just kind of, they all look the same and they're just kind of bland and
Yeah.
everything. And it just sort of becomes so easy. And, you try to label it AI content, but it's Pandora's box is destroyed.
Yeah.
The genie's bottle is destroyed and everything. And now that these tools are out there, it just like how easy they are to get a hold of and everything. And it's
Hmm.
just easy to just churn these things out. Like anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Which is, both the blessing and the curse of these tools.
Hmm.
Anyone can be a video maker now. Yes, that's awesome. The worst thing about it though is anyone can be a video maker.
Yeah. There, sometimes you stink at something. You're
Hmm.
just not good.
Yeah.
Well, that's happening a lot here.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking about this. That when you and I first started this podcast last spring,
Hmm.
we're coming up on almost a year. So in that short amount of time, timeline wise, look at how many video AI content creators we had last spring to
Hmm.
now.
Yeah.
You couldn't make a video with free content except maybe for once, and it was limited to
Hmm.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
Now you can make free videos just by putting in an email, and you don't get as many videos as you would with a paid subscription. But
Hmm.
if you know enough different platforms, you're getting 10, 12 videos a day for free,
Yeah.
at least, that are pretty good in terms of what you could make quality wise and things like that. The problem is growing, and we do know that places like, in doing research for this episode, let's see, I'm going to list this here. TikTok is seeing millions of labeled AI videos. So when you make these
Mm.
AI videos, even though it may not say it on the video itself,
Uh-huh.
somehow in the code or in whatever it is, the file or whatever that gets uploaded, it is labeled as AI somewhere in there.
Hmm.
And TikTok is seeing millions of these labels, Meta, hundreds of millions of these, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then the growth of verified deepfake incidences is also alarming as well.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
we're going to talk about that later in this episode, what's happening and why these are getting tougher to spot.
Yeah, definitely. And like not only that, the social media algorithm has always been kind of an exploited weak spot for troll farms
Hmm.
and bot accounts and everything like that. And it got easy, when people started like linking phones together and they just ran through an algorithm to respond this way and everything, and you can
Yep.
manipulate the algorithm and everything. And bad actors started manipulating it. For a lot of political reasons too. I'm not going to get into any kind of sides here or anything like that. But, now AI, it has a create a whole new level of algorithm manipulation at this
Yes.
point because you could, embed certain things within your video through prompting essentially that could help trigger the algorithm and everything. And I think we're starting to see the major flaw of algorithmic entertainment, essentially, where, your entertainment and your feeds are based on an algorithm. And now, the with these AI slop videos coming out,
Yeah.
it has created a whole new level of manipulation that I don't think is reparable on a lot of these platforms, to be honest with you.
I agree with you. And what I also want to add to what you're saying is I think the general public is finally starting to say, I'm going to disconnect for a little bit from
Hmm.
doom scrolling because the videos are all the same.
Yeah.
I am seeing this. I actually talked about how just in Facebook the other day, I think it was almost a month ago, I was a little disappointed that it took me forever to scroll just to see one of my friends. But all these advertisements and things that thought I would like that I've never
Hmm.
clicked on
Yeah.
were on there.
Uh,
You can't tell me that somebody with my profile is clicking on this stuff. So why is it in my feed?
Yeah,
Uh,
little trick at the top, there's a button you can say friend content. So you
I
can just
know
see content from your friends. And I encourage everybody, use that button. Your
it's a
your day
good
will
button.
go your day will go much better. I started having more fun with it.
I like that button, but I will say this every now and then there is barbecue stuff on sale, Brian.
I know there's the barbecue stuff, and then there's some
Last year, I
sports
stumbled
news.
upon a great Father's Day. Yeah, the sports stuff, it's a little bit of an addiction. And
Yeah,
ESPN.com needs an algorithm because it used to
yeah,
be much better than what it is. But
yeah.
I digress. You know what I want to talk about, Brian, though? What the data is saying these videos, the AI slop that we identified as AI slop is
Hmm.
showing. And it's what we've already talked about in the news feeds. It is
Hmm.
news-like clips. It is definitely been flagged for political videos.
Hmm.
I think we've seen hundreds of those in a
Oh
given
yeah.
month. Celebrity clips, not surprising.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Crisis or breaking news footage, funny.
Yep. It has
My
the all caps to start off the headline for that
correct.
social media post.
Yep.
And that just kind of booms it right there. And you click on it. I've fallen for it. We've all
Yep.
fallen for it. We're all going to fall for it. And I started like copying and pasting and saying, is this real into Gemini and everything? A surprising number of ones are real actually, but it's still a very low percentage. But anyway, it's just becoming, yeah, yeah, like you said, like celebrity and political videos, we're getting into election season's going to start heating up here in the next couple
Yep.
months, and it's gonna make these services almost unusable in
Yes.
some aspects, in my opinion.
It is. I think we're going to see it in actual political commercials for the first time. Like what
Hmm.
you see on your television and or your YouTube um, ads. I think you're going to see these AI generated slop in your ads.
Hmm.
And
It's bad.
uh, it's I think it's going to be problematic. I think every election moving forward is going to have its own unique difficulties with regards to AI and the truth. But I
Hmm.
think this upcoming one, you're definitely going to see some issues as a result of AI slop. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and it's getting more difficult to identify as well.
Bingo.
It used
Yeah.
to be. It's very simple.
It-
It used
yeah.
to be very simple to spot, but
Yeah.
these tools are getting better. The technology is getting better, and it is like it can legitimately trick you now.
It certainly
Um,
can, especially when you look at one of the first videos that the AI did with a celebrity was the Will Smith eating spaghetti.
oh my
I
gosh,
don't know if you
that
remember the
is.
original one of that. It kind of looked like him at times, and then it was all, yes, like you're doing. The face was all over the place as he was chewing, and you're like, okay, this is AI video. Well, they just did one with like Sora 3 about a month and a
hmm
half ago, and I'm sitting there scratching my head going, that's Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
Uh,
I still find it ironic how a benchmark with AI is Will Smith eating pasta.
like, who
Like
thought of that?
I don't know how we got that benchmark, but you know what? I'm not sure about a lot of things in life, and I just kind of accept it. It's kind of funny.
It is
But Will
kind of.
Smith eating spaghetti.
It's kind of funny. I guess if you're out there and you are making an AI video tool, that's your benchmark. How realistic can you get Will
Make
Smith to eat pasta? That is
Yeah,
your. I think it was spaghetti actually. I think they had to say spaghetti and not pasta, but
okay.
regardless, either way,
But yeah, either way, I'm wondering if Will Smith himself is just going to make himself a TikTok channel of just him eating
just
spaghetti.
just him eating spaghetti.
Real
Yeah.
videos of him eating spaghetti. That would be interesting.
So the other interesting thing that we're noticed that they're getting hard to spot. There used to be very specific visual things you would look for in an AI
hmm
image or video. The example, extra fingers were a dead giveaway, and it was
Oh
very,
yeah,
they were almost very consistent in making extra fingers. And the other
yeah.
thing that they used to say was misspellings all over the place in the backgroground,
hmm
even on the
Oh yeah,
person's shirt and things like that. We are not seeing that in a lot of these videos
yeah,
that are the slop that we're seeing.
yeah. Surprisingly, one of the biggest struggles with AI early on was spelling.
Hmm.
They just couldn't get it to spell correctly for some reason, and it took a while for everything. And yeah, the six finger thing was one of the biggest. I would say dead giveaways at first.
Yeah,
One kind of that comes to mind. This was another interesting one. There was a picture of LeBron James sitting in a hot tub with floating eggplants. And he was just kind of sitting there with floating eggplants, and I'm like, what in the world is this? And it actually fooled one of my friends, and another person commented, be like, hey, he's got six fingers. This is AI.
yeah,
So, maybe LeBron James in a hot tub with eggplants will be the next benchmark,
it could be.
which would be kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, anatomical issues were a big thing with AI generation as well. You've seen extra hands and everything.
The
You
hand and
see,
also hands run the wrong, like the thumbs run the wrong side of the hands sometimes
yes,
with the right and
yes.
left. That was a dead giveaway.
Yeah,
Uh,
some of them were kind of like the legs were backwards from the torso.
yeah,
So I've seen a few of those, but it's improved. These
yeah,
models have been trained more so, and they have been improved greatly.
that's right.
So this is yeah, now you don't know what you're seeing on
Yeah,
Facebook anymore. Like you flip through your reels and it's like used to be people with like videos, used to be people talking, used to be people doing trick shots with basketballs and everything, and
yep.
now it's just flooded the algorithm because everyone just wants to have that monetized social media account.
And that's it because you're sitting there. If you think you're going to hit it big, and maybe you will,
hmm
you got a way to do it. But now you have millions of people doing the same thing you're trying to do. Good luck trying to be the one that stands out when that happens. Um, and I hate that it resorts to AI slop in order to make that happen. I feel
Yeah,
like we could be more creative as a human race. I mean, and we've
yeah,
we've done so many great things like create movies, write books,
hmm
great music over the years.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Now we're
And
telling a computer to make this so that I could be a millionaire. Come on.
yeah, but it's it frustrates me because I think there is legit creative uses with AI that we can do and everything.
Without question.
If you look at our YouTube channel, I go and you look at all the thumbnails on the YouTube channel, even the thumbnails on the podcast. I really prompt those things to match the episode. And, granted, they're not like I'm not going to sell them or anything, but in that case, I think a case use like this, a use case, I should say, um, is pretty good for us. Not to, pat ourselves on the back or anything like that, or pat myself on the back or you on the back or anything. But I mean, there's legitimate creative uses for it, and I like to use AI, generative AI, to make those thumbnails and everything.
Hmm.
And if you watch our YouTube channel, you're going to see the banner for our
Right.
videos and everything. I use that for AI because before it was just like black and everything. And if you integrate AI tools into your real world creativity, that actually has a lot of potential right there. And unfortunately, it's getting overshadowed by people who are just trying to, you know, pump out whatever, essentially.
Hmm. And to make matters even worse, um, some of the places, some of these platforms that people are uploading to, they do have labels. When they see that a video is AI generated, there's a label somewhere that usually says AI video or something like that. I don't know where
Hmm.
it is in some of these.
Yeah.
What we've learned when researching this episode is that is getting tougher and tougher to find sometimes because the
Hmm.
labels can generally disappear. So that leads me to the question of what are some ways in which people can spot suspicious videos if they're unsure?
Yeah. Well, check the labels.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
like we just kind of mentioned, you don't know, they might not be labeled properly or what have you. Um, Always check the source. This is what I've really been starting to
Amen.
do.
Amen.
Like, okay, just be like, okay, what is this web page? What is this publication, et cetera, et cetera, and just look at it essentially. And a lot of times you're going to find it's just some BS blog site throwing out whatever, or some no name, no information web page or what have you. And that's kind of the other weakness with social media like Facebook. You can just like whip up a Facebook page easily
Yeah.
now. So it's kind of annoying, but that's just something you can kind of, you know, check your source, investigate your source before you start doing
Absolutely.
that. And
Eh,
once you realize it's BS and it's just AI garbage or AI slop, as we call it, block them.
Yep.
Just block them. Don't feed their algorithm anymore.
Hmm.
They'll get the click, but if you block them, they'll never get a click again. And
Not from you. Yeah.
your algorithm will pick up what you're blocking
Yes.
as
Oh,
well.
another thing that we've mentioned is look for missing context. If there's key
Hmm.
things missing that you think should be there, um, an example of this would be if it's a person telling a story, excuse me, from a historic perspective, and they're missing key context or key points. You have every reason to scratch your head, especially if it's like a history video, because as a historian myself, we're very long-winded when it comes to history.
Hmm.
And if
Yeah.
there's missing context, somebody's missing something here, and it doesn't sound it doesn't sound right.
Hmm.
Chances are it's missing. And then the other one that I look for lately is if there's a person in there, watch for over emotional uh, twists
Oh.
over time. It's almost like the AI is getting better at showing human emotion on the faces, but it amplifies
Hmm.
it, and it's slow to develop,
Yes.
but it's amplified. If it's overly amplified, I mean, the screaming or scaring of a person, and it happens slowly, like that's kind of a dead giveaway.
Hmm.
Um, that's what I would say. That was one of the ones that I when I read this research, I was like, yes, that makes total sense. I am seeing that.
Yeah, definitely. And the emotional manipulation is a big one right there. If you're reading an article and you see a lot of weighted words and very
Yeah.
heavily weighted arguments and using anger or what have you to basically explain their point or what have you, that used to be, what like fake news sites, as they call them, would do. They would start writing it. They would have a headline that just caught your attention, and basically, well, you saw a lot of political ads like this.
Yeah.
And then if you open the article or what have you, the first sentence it set the tone for what they wanted you to read, and then they would like kind of deliver some facts that weren't all there. Then the next paragraph, same thing. It'd be a sentence or two to make you feel a certain way, and then they would deliver a couple facts. So when you see a lot of like that, that's what they call emotional manipulation. Always check for that because if it's a news site or news story, they're just gonna sit there and report what's going on. They're not
Yeah.
gonna sit there and tell you how you're supposed to feel before you start reading the article or what have you.
Yeah.
But AI can do this very easily now. So you be careful like that. Just make sure that those words aren't there to try to basically, get you to feel a certain way before you start reading or looking at anything.
Yes, especially with the political season coming up.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
so two more things that were recommended that you can do to check. Just check the reliability of the outlets of who's posting. Again, that goes with what Brian
Hmm.
said. Make sure you know who's posting it. If it's like lost footage of the Hindenburg disaster and it's from the National Smithsonian, okay, chances are
Hmm.
that might be more on the real side.
Yeah.
And the other thing you can do, and I've caught myself doing this a lot, I've been doing basic reverse searches or just checking out if it was accurate.
Hmm.
Perplexity is really good at that. So is the social media engine you're probably using. But if it's the one that put it in your feed, you might not want to use that to check and see if it's real or not. It might trigger it to give you more of those since you did a search for it. So
Yeah.
try to go to a different search engine to find out if it's real or not. But
Yeah.
Brian, there is some good news here. There are some things we can do as laymen to help stop the spread of this stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, Not sure if you knew that or not.
Yeah,
Uh,
I kind of touched on it a little bit, but block those pages.
yes.
Block them, just flat out block them. And if your algorithm detects that you're blocking this, you're blocking that, it's gonna be like, okay, this person doesn't want to see this kind of stuff, and it's going to find pages that are similar to that,
Hmm.
which one AI slot page will show up very easily, comparatively to the algorithm to another AI slot page. And once they start to identify the patterns of AI slot pages, then those will get fewer and far between and everything.
Yep.
And don't share anything. Just stop sharing, stop commenting, don't dislike because that's a reaction. Don't react at all. Just block it because that will help stop the spread of this garbage.
So there's other steps too, and they follow what you're saying. Yours is like the probably the fastest way to stop it.
Hmm.
Um, what I did not know until we got to this portion of tonight, or in terms of researching behind this,
Yeah.
every time a person shares an AI generated video in a social media feed or something along those lines, the identifier that it's AI loses a little bit of that identity to the
Hmm.
other platforms.
Yeah.
So by the time it gets to, if somebody's uploading it for like the 12th time after it's been shared 12 times, it's much less likely to be flagged for AI content.
Hmm.
So before you share something, please pause and make sure, is this shareable? Does the person I'm sharing it with, will they know it's AI generated as a joke, or will they think
Hmm.
that it's perhaps a breaking news clip that's accurate?
Yeah, definitely.
Be responsible with your sharing.
Hmm.
And if you did share something and you thought it was real and you found out it was false, there is nothing wrong with going back and saying to that person, I apologize, but that video I sent wasn't accurate. I got duped by AI.
Yeah,
I get called out for it at times. Sometimes I fall for it still.
we all
Um,
do.
yeah, we all do. It's getting better. But I do quickly say, oh dear, that's AI. My bad.
Hmm.
And then I get made fun of by the accountant in Colorado because I have an AI podcast and I
Hmm.
can't, sometimes tell what's AI and what's not. So
Well, that just tells you right now, like, AI is out there, but sometimes it tricks you and
it does.
everything.
It
And
does.
um yeah, so just report these pages as
Yes.
well.
I did not know this. TikTok and YouTube have reportings where you can report the video. It's a simple click. You can report the video,
Hmm.
and one of the things they put on there is misinformation or inaccuracies or something along those lines. So that is a step that you could take, and I don't know if that counts for clicks towards the algorithm or not.
Yeah,
But
I'm not 100% sure either, but um just don't feed it into your algorithm. Um Start finding real pages and real things and everything like that. Or just spend less time on social media. Or click that friends
amen.
button at the top banner
Yeah,
and just talk to your friends. Because that's
that
what face
yes,
remember that's all Facebook was at the beginning?
it was awesome, Brian.
It was beautiful. I,
I
I I talked to people I hadn't talked to in years.
I loved
Um,
it. It
yeah,
was
and,
it was a way
and
for
some
us to
of
go
them,
to college and still keep in touch with each other, and
yeah,
we weren't doing it like on our phones or stuff like that. You had to actually sit in front of a computer and take the time to do it for 15 minutes.
Yeah, you went home to the computer, went on Facebook and saw what everyone's up to, and then you went
Yeah.
about your day.
And
You
checked
didn't
your
sit,
AOL chat to see if you missed anything when you were in class. That
yeah,
was, yeah,
and you didn't sit there on your phone like needing instant likes and gratification for what you just posted or what have you.
right.
It was a novelty, and th then it became too integrated into our lives and everything. So maybe the best way to stop the spread of this is to just not spend so much time
Yeah.
on social
On
media
social media.
and
It'll
just
it'll
kind of
help stop the videos. That will.
it will.
It's easier for us to say because we're older and we did grow up in a
Yeah.
time where we didn't need technology to entertain ourselves. We had to do things like beat bored. um,
Yeah.
things like that.
Mud
Power
pies
outage.
and
I
yeah.
mean, we had a power out the other week, and I was still watching videos, and we were able
Oh
to,
yeah.
if we wanted to watch a movie, we were still capable of doing that with our devices.
Yeah.
That did not happen back in the 90s and 2000s when your power went out.
Oh, the Great Blackout of 2003,
Yes.
where like all of Northeastern America went out,
Hmm.
and we were all just kind of walking around like, what do we do? Nobody can watch TV. We don't have any street lamps. We got nothing, and we just kept walking around. The phone line still worked. That was an interesting
Yeah.
one because they're separate from the power lines, and we were just kind of like walking around, and it's like, oh, this is what happened without power. Then I came out later that night, but it was an interesting one. It was definitely an interesting one. Maybe we just need a power outage this summer for a day, and
It's fine.
just for the internet to shut down for a day.
Can we do it on a day when it's like 70 degrees and not 90 degrees? I need air conditioning.
Yes,
I've gotten
yes, yeah.
spoiled. We
Well,
did grow up, Brian and I did grow up with air conditioning in the houses. So
okay.
that is a very important amenity that that the good Lord blessed
Yeah,
humanity
definitely.
with. So thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think ultimately, what can we do? Report it, block it, stop going on social media so much. That's the number one thing. But still
yeah,
listen to the Layman's AI podcast on your way to work. We appreciate that.
absolutely. And
You get to
download us as soon as you get the episode,
Mhm.
then you can listen to it even if the power's out on your phone.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but what are the real world risks that we're coming across here as we get into our kind of final points here?
Well,
Yeah, I think we already kind of went over it.
we
Misinformation is
yeah.
the big one.
And I think it's going to get, I mean, we're talking about how far we've gone in a year, less than a year. What's it going to be like next year at this time?
Hmm.
I mean, they might even be live create, like you can like vibe code your videos live and the person can do what the person's doing live and probably have live interaction with AI videos. It's probably where we're headed. And it'll
Hmm.
be here before we know it. And my thought is start being skeptical. Uh, you
Yeah.
know, it's okay to say, "Who are you? What do you do?
Hmm.
Where
Yeah,
did this come
exactly.
from? What are you trying to get me to think?"
Yeah, yeah, that's something definitely there. But one thing, fraud and scams, I think that's one of the big ones right there. Because now you can clone your voice for an AI and everything like that, and you can talk to it like your voice. Like someone can probably sit here and clone our voice right now, our
That's
voices, and call somebody that we know.
call our grandparents or or an elderly relative with
Hmm.
yours and my voice. Oh, it's Adam. I'm in trouble. I need you to send $5,000 to the IRS at this number, or else I'm going to jail and stuff like that. It could happen.
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
could happen.
definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
and
have actually wanted those phone calls to come to me. Those ones where they threaten to
I,
kidnap your family and stuff like that, your
hmm.
kids. If they threaten to kidnap my kids, I will laugh and say you could bring them back to me for $40,000.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna reverse that one.
Okay, very nice. And yeah, just kind of mess with them a little bit, I guess.
Oh
But
yeah, let's have some
yeah,
fun.
yeah, either way, yeah, I think people like one of the big things that I think, if this goes too far, and this point you kind of nailed it right on the head. You wrote trust. Real videos, people are gonna start not believing those. And that's gonna be, kind of the scary thing right there. Because I remember recently there was a asteroid that entered the atmosphere and exploded over Ohio. I don't know if you heard about that one or saw
Yes.
that one.
Yes, I
I
did. It's still happening, by the way.
yeah
There's meteorites or
yeah
meteors
I
hitting like North America,
yeah I
not far from
actually
where you live.
I actually heard it at work. Like we all heard it and we thought something landed on the roof or something blew over on the roof. And then saying it's like, no, it was an asteroid. And then we saw some videos of it. And I'm like, man, that is cool. But then people are gonna be like, oh, that's fake. That's AI. It's like, no, it's not AI. That's real and
Hmm.
everything. So, real things are gonna start happening like that because that'd be something that you can fake with AI,
Yeah.
essentially an asteroid blowing up in the atmosphere.
Well,
Um,
I had heard immediately that somebody did try to twist it and say it was missiles.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, they could
And I mean,
probably,
a video was claiming it was a missile, and I'm going, no, missile tails don't like
yeah,
flutter the way that it looked like a space object to me when I because it was the real video. It was the one with the ring camera or whatever. You've
yeah,
probably seen that one.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
but people could take that video and manipulate it and make it look like missiles and make
absolutely.
it look
It's
like there's more one and it's like we're under attack and everything. So,
not hard to do
um,
that.
yeah, and that's kind of another scary thing like that. But um, either way, we're kind of coming down to the end here. What are your takeaways here, Adam?
For me, researching this episode, the big takeaway is there are little things we can do as people to help stop this. I love
Hmm.
your suggestion about don't forward it, just block it.
Hmm.
Yes, you clicked it once or it's in your algorithm once, but block the darn thing. I like that.
Yeah.
And the sad part is, Brian, I'm still going to come across some of these videos, and I know it's good heart intent. It's not necessarily
Hmm.
slop of trying to get me to feel one way or another. It is good intentions of being funny, whether, hopefully appropriately funny and things like that. So I probably won't be blocking those or, not sending those. But for me, it was nice to know that there are things we can do as laymen to help stop the spread of this stuff over time.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing I was kind of thinking of, kind of the rise of YouTube, was the lore of it was basically, uh, you're no longer going through like a studio as your barrier to get your content out there. Like if you wanted to make videos or movies or what have you, bam, you now have a platform to do that, and nobody can tell you what to do. Whereas movie studios, networks, and everything, they filter their content. You have to sell them an idea before they say, okay, we'll put it on our platform. Um, Maybe that's not such a bad idea anymore.
Yeah.
It has its disadvantages, but I think we're seeing a major disadvantage of how much garbage that you can do without any sort of filter or any human filter saying, no, that's not quality, that's bad quality. And, everybody has their opinions, but, since there's so much garbage and AI slop out there, maybe, finding a platform or developing a platform to which a human says, no, I don't want this on my platform or anything like that. Or,
Hmm.
okay, all you're presenting me is AI slop. You are blocked from even trying to contact me from the platform. Uh, Maybe it's not such a bad idea anymore to have that human touch.
No, and I do think the pendulum is starting to swing
Hmm.
back to that. We got to slow this down.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think I'm wondering how many of these social media little feeds are going to survive, to be honest with you, because they've just become so polluted with garbage and everything. Um, but it really kind of kills me because I legitimately think that there's creative ways you can use AI
Yes.
for good videos and everything.
That's why we're
You
doing
c
this podcast. There are
Yeah,
great ways in which you can use this. You can explain educational concepts with a quick video
yes.
to kids. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, there was a great one about, I think it was from a drone's perspective, if it was a small
Hmm.
drone inside a grandfather clock to see how it
Hmm.
works. That was as creative as could be. That's great. I mean, you're not going
Hmm.
to be able to do that without AI.
Yeah,
That's a good one
definitely.
if you're using it for a teaching concept. There's good stuff out there, but the
Yeah,
slop's got to stop.
yeah, and I think the real creativity is going to be where people come in and they actually do shoot a video first, or they make some drawings first and everything, and they actually do it themselves. And then they say, okay, AI, let's take what I've given you. Now let's turn it into this way. And that human touch, I think, is going to go a long way to becoming creative with AI as opposed to generating AI slop, essentially.
I think you're
But
right.
yeah,
I think you're right on that one.
but either way, I think that about wraps us up for the evening. I'd like to give everybody a big thank you for taking your time out of your day to listen to us. My name is Brian,
And I'm Adam.
and you have been listening to the Layman's AI, and we will see you next time.